All right, changing gears. Our last comedian is incredibly funny. She was also here last year. Had everybody just dying. This is a personal opportunity for her. She has had breast cancer affect her family directly. So coming up here is Lethargic. It is good for her as well as all of us. For everybody, and the community in general. Now I'm just rambling. Everybody, please welcome Christine Huddle.
You said lethargic, but I think you meant cathartic, but you read my mind because I am fucking tired right now. It is way past my bedtime. As I was waiting to come up, this thing is a little short, or maybe I'm too tall. That's okay, I'll take my shoes off, or just whatever. This thought popped into my head. I'm kind of a deep thinker. It hurts my brain. A lot of deep thoughts going on in this little pinhead of mine. But as I was walking up here, I thought about that game, Fuck, Marry, or Kill. You guys all know that I don't have to explain it to you. So my question about that is, why can't it all be the same person? Like, why do you have to be, like, that's the natural progression of a relationship. You fuck somebody, you marry them, and then you want to kill them. Like, why are we bringing other people into this? That does not make sense. This is what I spend my time thinking about. I was raised Catholic. I don't know if I can handle this. I think a lot about Jesus. I think he would have been an extraordinary person to meet. And I think that the fact, thank you, Anthony. Oh, there we go. There, no, yes, no, there, right there, right there, right there. Thank you. Are you single? No, I think a lot about Jesus and the fact that he could turn water into wine. And that's so amazing, because the implications of that are that Jesus could get you shit-faced wasted for free. And if he were in a fraternity, he would have been super popular. These are the things that I think about. I have a son who's almost 5. So I know, right? And I love that there are a lot of parents that have been up here. You're going to appreciate some of the shit I say later. Your kids are a little younger, but we'll get to it. But so I was in a car, and it was my car. And I was listening to a classic rock station, and the song Kashmir by Led Zeppelin came on, which is probably my favorite classic rock song of all time. It is so epic and so sexy, and I have such a good memory associated with it, like that one time I got to drink beer with the cool kids. And I started thinking about my son, and I was like, what is his classic rock gonna be? And then I realized it's gonna be dubstep. And so he's just going to be driving along in his flying car. He's just going to be like, and then all of a sudden he'll hear that song on the radio, and he'll be like, oh man, I got to turn this up, man. And it's going to be like, and he's going to be like, oh my God, this brings back so many memories. Oh shit, almost hit a bird. Better calm down. That's the future. So I started thinking about the past, and I was thinking a lot about, I don't know why, the Wild West. And right around that time, a friend of mine gave me this beautiful black and white photography book about the Wild West. It was like these plate glass photos, and so I was looking through it, and I was trying to like identify, because everyone's like so weathered and like serious, and I was like trying to identify with these people's lives. And I saw this one photo where it was a mining camp that had just been destroyed by a bear. Bear came in, ate all of their food. These guys were going to starve to death. I mean, it was game over. So I'm looking at that, and I'm like, yeah, I think I know how that goes, because there's only one decent Thai food restaurant in my neighborhood that delivers, and I'm here, but my phone is like over there. I'm super hungry right now. I've already lost my mind. Let me see. Oh yeah, okay. So there's a lot of shit in this world that does not make sense. And I saw a casting notice for Disney. And Disney, if you want to work for them, will drug test you within an inch of your life. It doesn't make sense. Like, I'm looking at this casting notice, and it's just to be a costume character at Disney. And they're like, we're going to drug test you before the interview. We're going to drug test you during the interview. If we hire you, we will drug test you randomly, intermittently, so don't even apply for this job if you do drugs. I'm like, Jesus Christ. If I'm going to dress up as Goofy and have some kid kick me in the junk while his parents take photos, I need to be high to feel better about my life. Like, if there was one job to be high for, it would be that. And then meanwhile, there are other jobs that we should be drug testing that we don't, like brain surgeons. We don't drug test brain surgeons, and it doesn't make sense. Somewhere there could be a brain surgeon with an open cranium in front of them, high as a kite, just like, oh, wow, okay, this is weird. Wait a sec, I had a scalpel. Where did I put it? Scalpel. Such a weird word. Scalpel. You guys have any Doritos? I'm super hungry. There's a lot of things, too, that I think make us kind of loopy. Just technology. Like, people lose their minds over technology. And I feel like the place I notice it most is elevators. I mean, it's not a super new technological invention, but something happens to the human psyche when an elevator door is shutting. And all of a sudden, it becomes a life or death issue to squeeze your body through those doors. Doesn't matter how many people are in there, doesn't matter if there's another open elevator right next door, you have to Indiana Jones your way into that open elevator. And so this happened to me. I was up in LA and I was staying in a hotel. And there were 2 elevators in the lobby, okay? So I get into one elevator, it's empty, and it's like late, it's like 10 o'clock at night, and the doors start to close, and all of a sudden I hear, hold that door! And this big, sweaty, muscly guy comes just like barreling into the elevator. He's like, hey, thanks for holding the door. And I was like, yeah. He's like, how's your night going? Good. How's your, good, I just worked out. I was like, oh, good for you. He's like, yeah, you work out? Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's good for you. You should work out all the time. Hold that thought for a second. And his watch started beeping. He's like, that's my alarm. It's to remind me to eat before I go to bed. I got to eat a lot of protein. I eat 600 grams of protein a day. I'm exaggerating, but he was just, this is what he sounded like. And he's like, I eat 14 chicken breasts and a gallon of milk before I go to bed. You should try it. And he said it like I was supposed to be impressed, but all I could think was, your gas must smell so bad. And if I see you tomorrow night at 10:30 and you try to cram your sweaty ass into this elevator with me, I'm taking the stairs. I'm not doing that. And then it happens again the next night. The next night I get home, exhausted, get into an elevator, all of a sudden, hold the door! 4 people cram into the elevator with me, and I'm fine. And then just as the doors are about to close, we hear, wait a second! And so this drunk businessman comes flying into the elevator, and the doors close. Open elevator over here, doesn't matter. So we're in the elevator together, and this guy's probably 60, in a suit, just sweating, and he's got a margarita in his hand. Okay, so we're all in the elevator and it's quiet and he's just looking at everyone, margarita slashing all over the place, like super stoked to be on this elevator. And then we get to the 2nd floor, doors open, everybody gets out except for me and him. So I'm like, oh, thanks, you lazy assholes, you should have taken the stairs. Doors close and it's just me and this guy. And I know how this goes down. If you've ever been, women especially, been stuck in an elevator with some dude, you're just counting down in your head. You're like, 3, 2, 1. And he's like, so, my business trip just got extended by 2 days. What's good to do here? What's fun? What do I do? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm staying in this hotel. I'm obviously not from here, so, figure it out. And I was wearing this little white hat that I always wear. And he's like, I like your hat. You look like a northern girl. You know the Beach Boys song, Northern Girls Keep Their Boyfriends Warm at Night? I was like, no, you're thinking of blankets. And he's like, yeah, I have some blankets in my room. You want to come and see them? And I was like, oh, man, I wish I could, Rico Suave, but I have to get up early tomorrow and work. Good luck. It just take the stairs, ladies. Nothing weird ever happens in a stairwell, I'm just saying. I was very pleased to hear that there are other parents doing stand-up, and I think other parents in the audience. Like I said, I'm a mom, and the best person in the world to befriend is a mom. Want to know why? Want to know why? We always have food in our purses, okay? And I'm not just talking like a bunch of crushed oyster crackers. We have a variety. My purse is like an all-you-can-eat buffet. I pick my son up from preschool, and I'm like, hey, buddy, you hungry? He's like, yes, Mommy, what do you have? Well, I've got the cracked peppercorn beef jerky that you like. Nope, I already had that in my lunch. Okay. How about those, the organic protein bars that taste like chocolate chip cookies? Now, what else do you have? Okay, well, let me see. I have, this lovely roast of prime rib here. Let me just get out my carving knives. Ooh, and I've got 2 dipping sauces. I have the horseradish cream or the au jus. What else? Oh, look, oyster plate, Kumamoto's, your favorite. And then for dessert, I have, ooh, look at this, chocolate fountain. Here you go. My kid feasts for the entire 15-minute trip home. And it makes a mess. I never thought I would let another human eat in my car, but you do what you got to do to get by. So my kid, and this is pretty much true with all kids, kids are covered in usually a layer of sweat and dirt and food, and then there's like a mystery substance that just kind of like varnishes it, like seals it all on their body. So you spend a lot of time trying to wipe your kid down. So if you've ever tried to wipe a child's face, you know that it is like trying to chloroform a linebacker on bath salts. You know, my kid will be sitting there watching TV, just like super placid, and the second I get up to him with that washcloth, it's like, and it's like this epic wrestling match just to get him clean, but you know, you gotta try, you know? And so my tip to you other parents would be just put some actual chloroform on that washcloth. It really helps a lot. I lost my train of thought again. I think my favorite age for my son was right around 3. Kids at 3 are really fun because they talk, and they talk a lot, but they usually have like a weird accent or a speech impediment or just a weird cadence that makes them sound like a foreign dictator. So also at 3, my son had this thing where he wanted to rip whatever was in your hands out of your hands and play with it. So if I had something dangerous like a knife or a pair of scissors, I would have to go and hide in the bathroom. So, and our bathroom door didn't lock. So I was in the bathroom one day with my back to the door, frantically trying to cut something before he comes in, and all of a sudden I hear the door open, and I just froze. And I hear, "What you are doing?" And I was just like, nothing. I was just going to the bathroom. Really? And I was like, yes, really, Kim Jong-il. I mean, it's like so creepy, but also kind of cute. And then I realized that I was kind of traumatized by all of this creeping around and like doing weird things to avoid a tantrum. And it just made me realize that parents kind of have a mild to moderate version of Stockholm Syndrome. And it's true, and not to devalue what actual hostages go through, but you do get a little bit traumatized. So I started seeing a therapist, and she was amazing. She was super, super helpful, and her name was Dr. Vodka. And she was literally a giant bottle of vodka. Sometimes she was Polish, sometimes she was Russian, sometimes she was Tito's, like whatever was on sale, right? Yeah, I'm kidding, Tito's was never on sale. Shit's expensive. I should be sponsored by Tito's. I'm a huge fan of infectious diseases. Not what they do to people, but I'm just very interested in the biological mechanisms and the origins of them, so I study them a lot. And, they say that Ebola came from Africa, from people eating tainted bushmeat. They also say that Zika virus came from the Zika forest of Uganda. That's bullshit. All of those diseases came from preschool. And I'm serious about this. When my son first went to preschool, we got every virus imaginable. And the way that it goes down is your kid gets a version of the virus where they're symptomatic enough that they get sent home from school, but they're not quite so sick that they're like tired. They're still full of energy. Meanwhile, you're bedridden. You're dying. So to have a sense of humor about it, I came up with the Cold of the Month Club. And I started being a connoisseur of colds and writing reviews of them, like, oh yeah, this month's cold, the mucus has a mouthfeel of mucus, but the cough is delightfully dry. It's amazing that we survived that, and I'm just completely blown away by people who have more than one child. I don't understand how you get from one child to the second child, because kids are the ultimate cock blockers. They really are. I can't tell you how many times we would be in bed, the kid would be asleep, we could see him on the baby monitor, and it would be time to, get intimate. And the second we would start, we would hear, da da. And we freeze. Da da. Just a minute. What you are doing? Nothing. All I need is 60 seconds. Just literally give me 60 seconds. Really? It's messed up. So I love my son. I'm keeping him. But I know my limits. And I am one and done, okay? I'm a woman approaching my mid-40s. I don't have the energy for that shit. But unfortunately, my ovaries have a different plan. So what happens as you start to approach the mid-40s is your ovaries make one last desperate attempt to get you knocked up again, and they start throwing out rotten eggs like bad kids on Halloween. It's like a fireworks display, the end, where they're like playing the 1812 overture, and there's just eggs, and it's like Oprah. It's like, you get an egg, you get an egg, you get an egg, just eggs everywhere. And I can handle that, but then there's a hormonal component where when you're ovulating, you get capital H horny. It's bad. Like, I turn into a fucking werewolf. I have to like chain myself to a radiator. And one day I was like, I'm gonna chew my leg off, go crashing through a window, and hurt somebody. So I did the responsible thing, and I went out and bought a vibrator. Yeah, so I named my vibrator Scotty, because I picture him like Scotty from Star Trek, and he's just like, I'm trying to please her, Captain, but I don't have the power. And it's not it's not so much about using it and finishing. It's more about setting up the scenario, It's about using your imagination and coming up with a little backstory. So I had a really good scenario going a couple weeks ago. So I started it off. I created a fake contact in my phone. And I started sending myself some sexy messages like, hey, beautiful, can't wait to see you tonight. 6 o'clock sound good? And then I would like text myself back and be like, yeah, that sounds great, winky face. And then I was like, oh shit, I'm coming over at 6, I should get ready. So I take a shower, I do my hair and my makeup, and I pick out some sexy underwear and a cute outfit, because I want to look good, but I don't want to look like I put too much time into it, even though I've been getting ready for like the last 4 hours. And then I sit and I wait for me to show up. Now, I'm usually like 2 to 4 hours late, which is a little irritating. But, I try not to get too upset about it. I don't like to be kept waiting. But when I do show up, I usually have wine and some food. And we eat and we drink and we talk about how our day went, and all that nonsense just melts away. And then it's time to go back to the bedroom, and it's magic. I'm the best sex that I've ever had. And I don't like, I'm not ready for a relationship, and I don't want to, like, be too serious, and I don't want to get, feelings for myself, but, you start to feel things anyway, and then something kind of messed up happened. I think I messed this up. At one point, we were in the bedroom, and I blurted out, "I love you." And it was a little too soon, and I was like, did I hear that? I don't think I did. So I played it off like I didn't say anything, but I think I heard, because things got really weird after that. So, I got done, I got dressed, and I was just like, bye, and I left. And now I was just sitting there like, shit. Okay, don't freak out, don't freak out. So a couple days go by, no sexy text messages. So I send myself a text, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? Nothing. Okay, so now I'm upset. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna drive by my house and see if I'm home. So I drive by, not there. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna sit here and wait and see if I come home at all tonight. And of course, I did not come home. So I'm like, now great. I'm clearly somewhere with somebody else, and now I'm pissed. You know what? If I can't handle hearing how I feel about me, that's not on me, that's on me. Okay? So I may or may not have broken into my house, and because it doesn't matter, I'm not there, I'm never gonna know, and climbed into my bed and smelled my pillow because I miss me. And then the other morning, I was jogging by my house, still not home, but I saw my car parked out front, and I may or may not have scratched the word cheater in the side of my car. And then I hid in the bushes, because I couldn't wait to see the expression on my face when I saw that. But then I saw me hiding in the bushes, called the police, got myself arrested, got a restraining order against me, because I never thought I was the kind of person that would hit it and quit it, but apparently I'm some kind of psycho ex-me friend. And that's how you use a vibrator. Thank you. If you guys are hungry, please come and snack from the bounty of my purse. And thank you so much for coming out. Yay!